next to go? Yeah, who's next to go? I check the line. Who's next to go?
Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube.
That boy did. Yeah. With the mouth. Yeah.
That's 100% me with the story I'm about to tell you. How the hell are you? Welcome. It's Bondzee Live on Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, the whole 9 yards. We are live from Hamilton, Ontario. It's episode 237. Please make sure you go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it. It's growing and growing. We're at almost 1.7 thousand followers. So thank you very much for that. And it's super easy. Just go to YouTube, search Trippin With Bondzee, and hit it. Wade says you have 3 minutes to capture your audience's attention. Listen, you listen or you watch it or you don't. Adios, move on. I don't care. I'm doing this for fun. People tune in. People don't tune in. Just make people laugh, and that's what we're here for. And hopefully I make you laugh tonight, Wade. My condolences to you. I love you, buddy. And yeah, you know, if you know, you know, and we'll leave it at that. All right. Listen, tonight we got a great show for you. Hope you like the new opener there. I worked really hard on that. I did. I even had the original one done with the nice blue sky and everything. And I had this really funky sort of 70s groovy vibe, if you will. And manager Jason absolutely poo-pooed that. And he's like, what's with the 70s porn nonsense tune behind that? I wish I would have saved it for you so I could play it so you would get it. Maybe I'll have it for next show because you got to see what he thought was absolute garbage. So what I did was I borrowed a catchy little ditty of my son Brad's unreleased song, but it's great, and I can't wait for you to hear it. And God knows when he's going to release it, but that's a catchy little ditty it is. Let's play one more time in case you missed it. We got a brand new opening.
I check the line. Who's next to go? Yeah, who's next to go? I check the line. Who's next to go?
Love it. Love it. Yeah, huge shout out to Brad for that. And yeah, I worked really hard on it to have the first part completely. He's like, dude, come on. This isn't a 70s porn show. Anyways, no guest tonight, but boy, oh boy, do I got a doozy of a story for you on my flight home from Nicaragua. And listen, we got some great guests coming up. On Wednesday, I think we've tried this about 3 or 4 times now, and mostly this is on me. Just kept having to move things around. But a buddy of mine from Nicaragua, he owns a restaurant down there, moved his whole family from the Ottawa, Quebec region, and owns a pretty badass restaurant there. And he's got some crazy stories. And in fact, he's even in former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's book. So he's definitely got some stories to tell for sure. Sherelle says, stop telling us your secret fetishes. Listen, I'll tell you whatever I want. It's my show, all right? Listen, we've also got, I mentioned Paul Langlois from the Tragically Hip. He's going to be coming on in the next week or two, just waiting on confirmation on a date from him. Also a great band out of Kitchener called Pharaoh Minx. Really looking forward to talking to those guys. Could be the whole band, could be one of them. I simply don't know, but yeah, a lot of great guests coming up, and I'm really excited. It's been doing really well with it. And listen, it's the hardest part of the show sometimes. So listen, it's we'll also I got some crazy stories above and beyond my flight story, and then some insane videos that are gonna blow your mind. I'm laughing because some of them are just off the charts. This poor dude went bungee jumping, and I think like somewhere in Asia where you just, you know, if you're a goddamn tourist and stuff, you're on holiday having a good time, you don't go bungee jumping in like foreign third worldish countries, if you will. It's just a rule of thumb. Coming from a guy who's almost died in Central and South America multiple times. I digress. All right. Listen, it's really nice to be back from Nicaragua. As much as I love it there, yes, I'm about a week or 2 weeks early coming home, but the main, and everybody asks, oh, Bondzee, how come you're coming home so early? Or why are you leaving so early? And honestly, the number one reason was Tucker. I'm not going to lie. You know, he's getting old. He's 14. He's, I can see the decline in him. He's shaking a lot more. He's pretty sure he's got Parkinson's. He's going blind. He's got definitely at nighttime. He's having a real hard time seeing. And I just would have hate to stay down there an extra couple of weeks. And I shouldn't even say that. I hope Tucker's going to live longer than that. But listen, I've got so many friends that have lost their dogs and stuff lately. And it just, I couldn't imagine. And it's going to be super hard. So, but yeah, I just thought I got my buddy Stone. He says I got kicked out. No, I definitely didn't get kicked out. That's for sure. And somebody listened from Nicaragua. He says, "What is your favorite thing about Nicaragua?" To be honest, it's a list. The sunsets, the people there are super amazing. I love each and every Nicaraguan. They're so friendly, and the Nicaraguan traditional food, the naca tamales. There's so many others. I went to this amazing traditional Nicaraguan birthday party with the food, the band, the whole 9 yards, and everything about it was Nicaraguan. And there's not one thing I don't like about yes, there is. The snakes in your boa constrictors and the coral snakes and stuff, and the massive spiders. I'm not a big fan of those either. But yeah, really do love Nicaragua for sure. Absolutely everything about it. Wade says kicked out, deported, same thing. Listen, I didn't get kicked out. I wasn't deported, and I came home sans cast this time. Came home with 2 brand new fancy nice tattoos I did. Much to Sarge's chagrin, that's for sure. But let's jump into that real quick. While I was down there, just before I came home, I added to my Tragically Hip tattoo collection I got going on. I'm a super big fan of this one. If you know, you know. Killer Whale Tank, a version of New Orleans is Sinking by the Hip from way back when. And man, oh man, I got some massive traction on this on especially Twitter, but the love on Instagram, the Facebook, the Tragically Hip Facebook page. I got to thank everybody for the love. It's one of my most favorite tattoos. And if you know the story, the killer whale bit off Gord, who's was a clean and scrub guy in the Killer Whale Tank. He lost his left arm, his fucking left arm. Well, if you look at the tattoo, it's a spear and it's not a left arm. Anyways, I love that tattoo. Thanks to Hammy in Nicaragua. And then we also got this. It's my guardian angel. It's holding my favorite number. If you put the two together, it's actually a really cool correlation, and it just fits and suits me and who I am and what I am. So huge thanks to my tattoo guy. Really loving the ink for sure. And listen, what else? Yeah, I got to, before I move on from the Nicaragua talk, I got to give a massive, massive shout out to Pat and Paul. They hosted me the entire time whilst I was there. That wasn't the way it was supposed to be, but by the graces of their kind heart, they let me stay with them the entire time. And listen, she's like my second mom, and she's the most wonderful lady in the world. And my boy Paul there on the right is super amazing too. So thanks to those guys. And I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to my boy there on the left, Colin. What a beauty he is as well. And they let me stay at their house a few nights as well. So God bless all of those people. I'm super grateful for all the friends, and they are family to me down there. And I'm super blessed and thankful and lucky to have friends like that let me stay at their place for almost 7 weeks. So it's pretty special and pretty amazing, and I miss everybody already for sure. And a big thanks to my boy Leandro, who took me out fishing. We at least 3 or 4 times. Listen, if it wasn't for this guy, I would have never got to swim with a whale shark. I would have never seen the massive pot of whales that we did. I wouldn't have got to catch amazing fish like this either. So I'm super grateful. I've known this guy a long time. I love him to death. I live with him in Nicaragua. His family's been there a long time. His mama, who I call mama, and she loves me like a son as well. I'm super grateful for the Chamorro family and all they've done for me along the way over my 6 years in Nicaragua now. It's crazy. All right, I haven't even got to the sponsors yet, but listen, let's do that real quick. We got brand new sponsors. It's right here. You got to check these guys out. Listen, maybe you're into camping, maybe you're not, but if you are, but you don't have the stuff and you wish you could go, listen, hit up Carefree Camping Rentals. All you got to do is go to their website, www.carefreecampingrentals.com, and listen, they got absolutely everything. Right down to the chairs, the axe, whatever you need. They got the tents, sleeping bags. They have everything. They probably even have the sticks for you to roast marshmallows. Buy your own goddamn marshmallows, though, by the way. Listen, it's an amazing experience. A friend of mine started this. She had like stage 4 cancer and was literally told she's not going to live. And she thought, well, what can I do to help the people before I go? She lives in Aurelia, and it's a great hub on the way up to Muskoka, the most beautiful camping area in I wouldn't say all of Ontario, but it's certainly one of them. And you could stop in there, and she started this business, and she'll give you absolutely everything you need. So check them out online. Super happy to have them aboard, and happy to promote them for sure. And also, we got my boys' clothing line. It's called Don't Trip You're Fine. Check them out on Instagram at Don't Trip You're Fine. That's YOU apostrophe or whatever you call that thing, RE, not YOUR. And go check him out. He's got amazing hoodies, t-shirts, toques, stickers, you name it. He's got it. He looks cool in it. You will too. Make sure you go check it out. It's Don't Trip You're Fine. All right. Oh, I guess I should get right into it. So listen, here's what happened. I've been flying a long time, back and forth from Nicaragua, Central America, Costa Rica, Panama, you name it. And listen, I've been through everything. I've been lucky enough to have my own row of seats, on an empty plane. I've nice background, but it's not San Juan del Sur. You got that right, Angie. Thanks for tuning in. Miss you guys big time. Fish is photoshopped. Sorry, I'm just catching up. I'm bouncing back and forth here because I'm running the show alone, which I'm getting a lot better at doing. What else? Sorry, I'm still reading the comments. Leave now, avoid the May booting. Yeah. So listen, I like I said, I've had rows of airplanes to myself. I've had nobody in the middle seat, which is always a huge bonus. I've got to sit in almost an empty airplane with no screaming babies, nobody, and get treated like absolutely first class. And then I've also been sandwiched between pant loads on a plane. I've been through the worst of the worst too. When you fly a lot, you're going to go through everything, good, bad, and the ugly. I've never, ever had what happened to me on Thursday. And I blew it. Here we go. I get on the plane. I'm so excited to get home. Can't wait to see Tucker and just get back and get back into my routine here. And I'm walking down. I'm in an aisle 9 seat C. Aisle seat on purpose. And I'm thinking on the way to my seat, please, two things. Nobody next to me in the middle, and no screaming babies around. That's all I ask on this flight, please. Anyways, lo and behold, both of them, jackpot. And then out of the blue, I look, 9C, look at the window seat. There she is. The most beautifulest Egyptian princess I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't want to get caught staring too long because she was captivatingly, stunningly beautiful. That's how hot she was. And I put my bag up. I didn't want to stare too long. So I look up real quick. I put my bag down. And she didn't look at me right away. She was eating her chicken salad, as I later came to find out. And listen, she never give me the time of day. She didn't even look when I sat down. There was no eye contact to be like, oh, hey, how you doing? How was your trip? Blah, blah, blah. Nothing. So I was like, okay, she's way out of my league anyway, smoking hot. I'm not even going to go there. So I was so tired. Didn't get much sleep the night before. It was a long travel to the airport, and I wanted to go right to sleep. So I do it. Earpods in, head back. I think I woke up half hour later when we were in the air. Then I couldn't sleep. And I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to look over because the window's closed. And you know how it's awkward, or you just, oh, hey, how you doing? Out of the blue. And I just wanted to look to see how hot she was again, because all I had was this quick little picture in my mind. But I knew there was something special beside me. Anyways, I you know how you look as hard as you can out of the corner of your eye without really turning your head too much so you don't get caught. I was me, and my eyes hurt and my neck hurt from trying to do the old sneak, and it just wasn't working. So I was like, you'll just have to wait, you pervert. Listen, nothing about this is pervy. Let me preface that too. I was just joking. Anyways, a little time goes by, and all of a sudden she's stern and mucking about. So I a quick look, and I'm like, oh, what she's up to? She wraps herself in her coat, and she puts her face mask thingy on, and proceeds to curl up in a cute little ball and put her sweet little toesies this far from old Bonzarelli's thighs. So now I've got the jackpot view, because she can't see that I'm looking at her, though she probably felt the incessant stares at her, because I got a good little while, because she had the mask on. Her cute little feet were right there. How am I not supposed to even stare at them? They were beautifully tanned. They had nice silver nail polish. I can tell you, I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I can tell you everything about this girl and more. Believe me, you. DJ says you're definitely pitching a 10. Dude, I wasn't, because listen, as hard as she is, that's just not who I am. But anyways, she was like, she looked so beautiful and cute sleeping there. And I didn't want to be super creeper and have some other people around the aisle, like especially the ones next to me, going, look at this fucking guy just staring at her incessantly like a huge creep. So I'm very conscious of what's going on around me. And no, I wasn't being a creeper at all, Cheryl. Not at all. So anyway, she's sleeping away and she looks so beautiful. And I start watching what the hell's that? Paradise PD on my phone, because there's no goddamn movies on this flight. There's no TV, there's no in-flight entertainment or nothing. So I get on my phone. The only thing I got downloaded that's still available to watch was Paradise PD. And for those of you who don't know, it's the most perverted, crazy adult cartoon out there. Well, doesn't she wake up whilst I'm on the last episode? And it was just crazy. And I could see her looking out of the corner of my eye, almost like doing one of these. What is this lunatic watching on his phone? And listen, I do not have a foot fetish, by the way. I have buddies that have foot fetishes, and I find those guys incredibly weird. A foot fetish I do not have. I am not Bondzee the creeper either, by the way. But booby fetish, and a nice bum, eyes. I love eyes. Well, and I'm getting to the eyes part in a minute. Hold tight. So she wakes up, she's creeping me, and now she's going, look at this loser watching adult cartoons that have like female boobies and stuff and cartoon. It's just, don't even ask. Okay. Drug sniffing dogs. Anyways, I saw her checking it out. So it ends. I shut it off, and I was like, "Oh, I know she's watching me, so I'm gonna pull up my computer and look all manly and stuff like I'm doing work," which I was doing some work. I did some editing, and then the cart lady come by and asked if we wanted drinks. Yes, I know what she ordered. It was a tea with 1 milk. Not creepy at all. And I ordered a wine. I hadn't drank the whole day, and I was like, you know what? I know I want to ask this girl out at the end of the flight. But I haven't even spoke to her yet, and so I don't know how I'm going to do that. So, anyways, before the car comes, I got to back up for a second. Well, I'm so excited to tell this story because I hope she's watching. I really do. And this is probably my only shot, because she knows about this podcast, and we'll get into that in a little bit. She wakes up from her beautiful slumber, and I had to make sure I wasn't staring at her feet or her mask and her hair. I got to tell you, it's the longest, darkest, silkiest, smooth, curly, like a soft curl, if you will, just almost down to her waist, and it's so beautiful. Anyway, she wakes up and she's got to go to the bathroom. What she do? She pokes me. She doesn't say a word. I look over and she just is like, poke, and she goes like, yo, pigeon, get out of the way. So I get out of the way. I'm like, oh yeah, so of course. And I check her out as she's going to the bathroom. Beautiful tuchus, by the way, not going to lie. But I wasn't being too creepy either. I didn't look too long because there's so many eyes peering at her and me watching her. So anyway, she goes to the bathroom. She comes back. I get up. I let her back in. And now I got to go. So I race to the bathroom, and I'm in there, and I'm thinking, okay, this is it. When you go back there, big boy, put your big boy pants on and say hello. Ask how she's doing. Ask where she's from. Anything. Just do it. I'm like, okay, I got this. So I go back. I'm all proud as punch, and I sit down, and I'm waiting for the right moment. And then the cart lady comes by to milk tea, 1 milk. Bottle of wine. I thought, perfect. I just a sip, and I'll have the courage to ask and say hello and ask her what she's up to. So I get my wine. I take a sip, and all of a sudden I hear, "How's your trip?" And I was like, there was the most angelic voice. And I look around and I look over and I said, excuse me? It was her. And she said, oh, I just was wondering how your trip was. And I said, oh, yeah, it was great, actually. Thanks so much for asking. I was in Nicaragua. And she's like, oh, I've been there. And I'm a surfer. I love to surf. And I was like, oh, that's great. Where'd you go in Nicaragua? Anyways, we proceeded to hit it off for the next 2.5 hours. And old big boy didn't even have to put the big boy pants on. She broke the ice, and I just skated along with her. I think we even held hands while we were skating. No, we didn't on the plane, but in my head while we were skating is what I meant. This sounds like an ayahuasca dream. Wade, you're such a smart ass. No, listen. So we totally hit it off. She tells me her mom and her whole family's from Egypt, and she's showing me pictures of her mom. And when I forgot to bring this up, when she asked how I was doing, and I looked over and saw she asked me the question, we locked eyes, and I got to tell you, I have never seen more beautiful blue eyes on a dark-haired girl in my entire life, and I was gaga. She had me right there. I could have barely speak for the next 3 minutes, but I was is there any proof of this person? Listen, I hope to hell she's watching. You never know, because we'll get into it in a second. Just be patient with me. Anyways, I was like, oh, I was gonna say hello, but you beat me to it. So I'm trying to. She's probably like, yeah, whatever, loser. Why do you think I had to say hello first, or how was your trip? She wouldn't have been wrong. Anyways, I introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm Greg. And I know her name is Sarah. Sadly, that's all I know. But she knows I'm Greg Bond, and she knows I'm Bondzee, and she knows I have a podcast called Trippin With Bondzee. Because she asked all about me. Oh, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. And I told her all about it. She knew Dean Blundell's show. I think she's like, probably, I'm 50 this year. I hate to say the wrong age, but I'm going to guess she's probably 40, 38-ish, somewhere in there, maybe 35. 35 to 40, okay? Let's leave it there. The most beautiful 35 to 40-year-old Egyptian princess I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyways, we proceed to carry on. She's asking me all these questions. Oh, how old are your boys? Oh, can I see pictures? And it was just, we did everything. It was just... I can't stop laughing at the comments. You guys are amazing. Wade says, Sarah, typical drag queen name. And then Kelby says, and then Bondzee woke up from his dream. You know, I almost wish it was a dream, because it felt like it. But it was real, because I know I flew home from Nicaragua and I'm back here in Hamilton with Tucker. And listen, so what proceeds to happen is we're sharing pictures. We're chit-chatting away. The flirt was on both sides, okay? She was captivated by me being a voice actor, having the podcast, this and this. I was interested in her. She loves to surf. She loves to travel. And the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, the creme de la creme, she loves to golf. I know. It's almost like it's too good to be true. I wanted to touch her to see if she was a ghost, because maybe I was just a good boy the whole trip, because I was home early every night. I did not drink my face off this time, and I came home pretty healthy, and sans cast I did, and even down a kidney stone with some crazy pill concoction. Anyways, she was real, because I felt her one little toesy touched me at one time, and that was the only thing that I know it was real, and she definitely was all real, and it's not made up. You son of a bitch. It's not, because, listen, I'll finish the story, and I'll tell you how I know it's true. So we get chit-chatting the whole time, and I'm thinking the whole time, okay, at the end of the flight, I'm going to have the cojones to get her phone number or her Facebook contact, so that we can be friends or continue this flirtatious thing we got going on a plane that has never happened to Bondzee in his life with all the million flights I've done, okay? You follow me here? This never happens. Now, all of a sudden, I'm sitting beside this princess from Egypt. She's not from Egypt, but her family is. And she's a Canadian Egyptian princess. She's not officially a princess, but she is to me. And it just went swimmingly the rest of the time. The whole 2.5 hours flew by like that. We're landing, and we get on the ground, and her phone goes off, okay? She needed to hook up and get her keys from her apartment. Oh, by the way, she lives at Bay and Front Street in downtown Toronto. And she calls up the security guy and goes, I just wanted to make sure that you got my keys for apartment 505. So now I know that she lives, I shouldn't say that, I don't want to tell you all you fucks. But that's where she lives. And she hangs up and she's like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the effort, blah, blah, blah. I'm just landing, the BD planing soon, and I'll come and pick up my keys from you. And so I know she's talking to, because I've been to those buildings, and I know who she's talking to and how they operate. 2 minutes later, her phone goes off, and I could see it laying on the seat, and it's J. Now, all it says is the letter J, but I'm like, she got a boyfriend. And so all that wind in my sails completely went out the window. But her whole demeanor and her attitude and her tone changed the second that she started talking to this guy, Jay. And I say guy, but I don't even know. At the end of the day, this is why I'm so pissed off at myself, too. She works online for some major corporation. I'm not exactly sure what her title was. But she works online, and she's a freelancer and can work anywhere she wants, and lives at Bay and Bay and Front Street. Woo! I know. Anyways, Jay, whoever Jay is, could be female, could be male, could be ex-boyfriend, could be current boyfriend, could be husband. I don't know. It's not husband, because I asked her on the trip during our conversation, do you have any husband or kids? Because she'd asked if I was married or had kids. She was fashion. She wanted to know if old Bonzarelli was on the single train. I know this. So I get all cold feet because she's got friggin' Jay on the phone, and she is pissed at whoever Jay is. But I was all like, oh, fuck, what do I do? What do I do? Anyways, I said, well, it's real. As we grab our bags, it's time for us to get actually off the plane now. And I was like, listen, it was such a pleasure to meet you. I really enjoyed this conversation. And thanks so much. You made the last half of the flight go by amazingly. She's like, no, thank you. It really was awesome. And it was special to talk to you. And I was just giddy. I couldn't even speak. So I just had to be cool about it. I'm strutting down the plane like this. And I was just floating, I think, down the plane. I'm not even sure my feet touched the ground. But anyways, I get off the plane, and she's right behind me. And so we end up chit-chatting the whole way to customs. And right at customs, we say goodbye. We told one last funny story each about me losing my passport last time I flew into Pearson. And she's like, well, funny enough, you wouldn't believe this. I just got to Tamarindo, Costa Rica, and found out I left my passport in Santa Teresa, which for those who know is not very close. So she had to pay some dude $400 to get her passport from Santa Teresa up to Tamarindo within less than 24 hours, toot sweet, if you will, so that she could get on that plane and fly home for her mother's birthday, which was the day after we landed. But she did it, and she got it. And that was the last story we ever told each other. And then, just like that, poof, gonzo. I didn't get her fucking number. I didn't get her fucking Facebook information. All I know is Sarah at Bay in Front, 505. And God damn it, the second I got to the carousel thingy, where I knew she didn't have luggage, she just had her carry-ons, I blew it. I was like, Bondzee, you loser of all losers, Captain Loser, you blew it. And yes, I did. And I fail, 100% fail. That's what it was. It was nothing more, nothing less. It was a massive fail. And as my boy, I'm trying to find the picture here, and I can't. Oh, wow, it doesn't even matter. Listen, the bottom line is, I blew it. I blew it. And I'm not sure if I'll ever see her again. The only saving grace is this. She knows my name, Greg Bond. She knows that I have this podcast, Trippin With Bondzee. She knows I'm on YouTube, and she said she's going to check me out. So I thought, well, if there's any possible chance she's going to see the show, it would probably be the first one after the flight, because she's got to see, well, maybe he's going to talk about me, because we had that kind of connection and that kind of awesome chat for 2.5 hours. We really did. Sadly, I haven't seen her comment yet. I was sort of hoping she would, but I'm also sort of embarrassed for telling this whole story. Sarge is like, Gregory Scott, are you really going to tell that story on the show tonight? And I was like, well, Mom, thank you for not calling it the stupid show anymore, because that's what you always used to call it. But what else have we got here? Kel B says, and just like that, Bondzee woke up because Sarge was yelling, Gregory, wake up. Listen, again, I wish it was a dream, because it was, I blew it. I really did. I really do believe this, Sherelle. She said, stop it. Life is weird. You will see her again. And yeah, I'm not going to go hanging out at friggin' Front and James Wood, whatever I said, of waiting or checking out apartment 505s. Wade says, wow, I know, wow, Bondzee lost out again because he's a loser. I do feel like a loser, though. So listen, that's my story. The moral of the story is this, folks. Wayne Gretzky said it best. you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Old Bonzarelli, 2.5 hours of chit-chatting with one of the most beautifulest women I've ever met in my entire life, especially on an airplane, after sitting beside a plethora of pant loads and fatzos who take up damn near 2 seats. And I finally get this hot, amazing princess, and I couldn't even speak to her for the first 2.5 hours. And then she finally speaks to me, breaks the ice, waiting for me to probably ask for her number, or Facebook page, or something. And I do nothing. And she probably walked away going, his loss. What a loser. It is a special memory. She says, you're hilarious, so entertaining. She would have been crazy not to want to continue it. If you guys, and listen, she probably would have. So I told my dad as soon as I got in the car, after I had some snuggles with Tucker and a big hug with my dad, I got in the car and I said, Dad, you're not going to believe how stupid your son is and how, what did I say? How small my balls are. Even though I got 3 of them. They're about the size of peanuts because I couldn't even muster up the courage to ask for this goddamn girl's name, phone number or Facebook page. And I will never forgive myself for that. I blew it because I was so enamored by her. I was so captivated. I was so scared. But then she broke the ice and was talking to me and was interested in me. And I was just like, this flight can't even be real. I feel like I was on what's that crazy TV show that where the flight disappears or whatever. I felt like, oh no, well, at least if I'm on that kind of flight and we disappear, at least I'm going to be stuck with her. Anyways, that's that. I blew it. Hopefully Sarah sees this either tonight or down the road when she checks out my my what do you call it, YouTube page, Trippin With Bondzee, and she'll see, because I put it in the title on purpose. I did, because maybe it's one of those crazy stories where Jay was an ex-boyfriend, or maybe it manifests. Thank you, Lisa Holgate. Maybe she didn't have a boyfriend. Maybe Jay was a girl. Maybe Jay was an ex-boyfriend. Who knows? But I won't know because I didn't have the cojones to ask. And God damn it, folks, again, the moral of the story is just take the chance. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a chicken. I don't care if you're male, female. If you want it and you really think there's something there, go get it. Ask. The only thing, the worst case scenario, she's going to say, no, simple enough. Or I got a boyfriend or I'm married. That's it. Oh, okay, no problem. Nice chatting with you. On to the next one. I didn't even let myself get there. Stupido. Anyways, Sarah, I hope you're watching this. I hope I didn't make a fool of myself. And anyways, I regret not asking for your phone number or your Facebook. And then that's it. That's all. Bye, Sarah. 33 minutes of rambling on about nonsense. Me and Sarah on a plane, and Bondzee will probably never, ever get to see her again. All right. I got to talk about this before I move on. I mentioned Adam Sandler because this is the perfect picture ever. You blew it. Yes, I did. You know what didn't blow was the 2-hour CNN special last night of Adam Sandler getting the Mark Twain Award. I'm telling you, folks, it was probably the best 2 hours of live TV that I've ever seen. It made the Oscars, the Golden Globes, any other of the award shows that I've ever seen look Mickey Mouse and boring. Listen, it was a star-studded event. You had Steve Buscemi there. He was absolutely hilarious when he came up on stage and did his bit. That was, I know that's a terrible picture, but that's Conan O'Brien, who came out on stage first after this opening song. Conan absolutely killed it as well. Totally roasted Adam, but was super genuine as well. His 2 favorite co-stars that he stars in all the movies with, he got Jennifer Aniston and Drew Barrymore there. They both came out together and did this hilarious monologue where they sort of went back and forth at each other and said, no, I'm his favorite. And Jennifer would be like, no, I've done the most recent movies with him, and you haven't done a movie with him since what, 15 years ago. Anyways, they chirped each other. It was great banter and super awesome fun. Who also killed it was Chris Rock. Pete Davidson came out. His little thing was short and sweet, but he came out there for about 1 minute and did nothing but quick one-liners and killed it. Dana Carvey was amazing. Chris Rock was amazing. It really was a special night. There's no anybody that's more deserving of the Mark Twain Award and just any award. And Chris Rock said it best. He told the Oscars to fuck off because they have never given this man an Oscar award. And listen, I know he's done a lot of like silly, crazy movies where we're all like, it's funny. If you can't laugh at an Adam Sandler movie and you don't like him, there's something wrong with you, and we probably can't be friends, because it's all about good humor and making people laugh, which is exactly what this show's about. And listen, Adam Sandler succeeded at that. Started from the bottom, got on to Saturday Night Live, and went on to do a trillion movies, directed, produced, made them. And he's made so many billions of people laugh around the world, and kudos to him. He's still with his wife. He's got 2 amazing kids, and he's still killing it. And the best part about him is he continuously puts his best friends in all his movies, and that's how awesome and kind-hearted he is. And there wasn't one person who got up there and literally said, oh, it wasn't fun to work with him or this. He's that genuine and so awesome, and good on him. It was amazing 2 hours. If you have the chance, find it somewhere on YouTube, whatever, go back and watch it. All 2 hours are absolutely spectacular. Good on Adam Sandler and everybody that was involved in that for sure. Wow, banger. All right, I got some crazy stories for you before. We're 36 minutes. I got some amazing videos I got to play tonight, so I'm gonna rip through these stories. There's some beauties that you guys got to hear. This couple, they're on a little date vacation. It was their anniversary. They're out in Colorado, somewhere in the mountains, having a hot tub, minding their own business, and all of a sudden, while laying in the hot tub, this mountain lion attacks this man while he's laying in the hot tub with his wife. Look at this thing, man. Could you imagine? You're laying in the hot tub, minding your own business with your wife. You're hoping for maybe a little sexy time in the hot tub. You got the wine going. It's nighttime. The stars are shining down above. And then all of a sudden, I laugh because the guy's okay. But could you imagine turning around? Him and his wife turn around, and she grabs a flashlight that was beside her, and she shines it, and there's this massive thing. This is not the actual photo, obviously, but I just took this from, but that's what was staring them in the face in the pitch black in this hot tub that was a good distance from the house that they were renting. Anyways, they started splashing water, screaming at the top of their lungs from this goddamn cat to get out of their private time in this hot tub. Anyways, it gets spooked. It takes off. So they race to the house and they check out Buddy's head. And he's got the perfect like 4-claw rip right across his forehead, like he got it tattooed. Again, I don't know. I find this so funny. I guess I'm still embarrassed about my stupid blowing it with super hot Sarah on the airplane. That I'm just trying to laugh now because it's either that or I'm going to start crying. She was that hot, and I can't believe I blew it. I blew it, and it was the worst. I can't believe it. I hope to God she sees this and watches IVD. I think I've been pretty funny tonight. Sober. Trying to stay sober while I'm back here. And I'm not trying. I'm going to be. And I smoked a big old Gagger pipe and had a nice, fine chat with my dad right before the show. So he still can't believe I was coming on to tell that story either. But bless both my parents, and they're the best. Anyways, the dude turns out he's going to be all right. The guy that they rented the house from, turns out he works for the Parks and Wildlife Department. And anyways, they went hunting for this wildcat, never found him, or mountain lion, whatever, same thing, lion cat, mountain cat. Anyways, guy's lucky to be alive. Can you imagine there sitting thinking you're gonna have sexy time maybe, and you're gonna enjoy a nice glass of wine whilst you're on your date weekend with your lady? Good thing you didn't have her bent over and she's holding on to the side of the hot tub, and she's like this, right? And her face would be on the outside, right where Buddy's back of his head was. She could have got her whole face clawed off. She could have. Good thing it didn't come to that yet. Buddy was like me, didn't know how to pull the trigger soon enough. Lucky for her, I guess. Anyway, good on them for having the balls or the cojones to scaring it away and getting back to the house safely with only minor wounds. I can't believe I'm still laughing at that. All right. I'm going to start this new segment. I'm going to make a nice little cool video for it coming up for the next show. But we're going to do, and I used to do this once in a while. We do dummy or dummies of the week. And I thought it would be a perfect way to fit in the show on a Monday to do dummies of news stories of the past week or whatever. And I think I got a beauty to start off with, because you got to give these guys, I really do got to give them credit right off the start, because these two numbskulls right here, Dumb and Dumber, are actually, were pretty smart, because they figured out a way to grab a toothbrush and put a carving little thing that they found, and the toothbrush was the handle, and they actually made their little hole in the jail wall. They figured out that there was a flaw in the system in the building of it, and that they could get out through that hole, run to one wall, slip over the other side to the other side, and are off to the races. Well, they did it, by golly gee. I mean, look at it. These guys, right out of Shawshank Redemption, dug a hole. Now, mind you, it's way less digging or whatever, but still, they pulled it off. They got out, and this is where it turns to the dummies of the week, because you would think that the first thing you would do is hightail it as far away as you can to get from the prison where you just escaped from, because you know it's not going to take long for an APB all points bulletin to be put out, and your ass is going to be on the news, face is going to be everywhere, and your ass is probably going to get caught. Well, these geniuses must have been pretty hungry and really love the IHOP, because these morons decided to stop in the nearest town at their local IHOP and fill their fat gullets with pancakes, waffles, bacon, cheeseburgers, you name it. These two idiots. Well, it didn't take long for that APB to reach the old IHOP on the televisions playing in the thing, and the waitress recognized them and called 911. And within minutes, these two idiots were arrested and headed straight back to the prison they came from, yet not that prison cell. And the craziest thing about this whole story is these two idiots weren't in. You think they were in for like felony murder, doing 2 life sentences or something back to back. No, these morons, I'm trying to look for their charges here. They're 37 and 43. They weren't even in for serious crimes. Their crimes included, easy for me to say, contempt of court and probation violations. Shocking. I mean, all you have to do is take a look at them. But all petty theft and nonsense. Credit card fraud, forgery, and grand larceny. And again, the other one, probation violation. Shocking. Again, just take a look. Anyways, they figured they didn't like their sentences, and they thought they would get out of that little hole and they'd be off to the races. But their bellies got the best of them. It did. And old IHOP did as well. And you got to figure IHOP's got to love that the free advertising there, right? Our food is so good, you'll break out of goddamn prison for it. Or our food is so good, you can't resist stopping whilst being a fugitive on the run. That's free advertising right there, folks. You know, take advantage of it while you can. All right. And I got one more, a dummy of the week, because it's a new segment. This fella either really, really, really loves Cadbury cream eggs. And listen, who doesn't? This thing right there in that little tin foil is the most ooey gooey chocolatey goodness I've ever had, especially when it comes from England, like where this happened. This moron either loved those so much or thought he was going to hit the mother payload when he stole a semi-truck, half a semi-truck, loaded full of 200,000 of these delicious beauties right here. Well, his plan didn't work so good. He cut the chain off the fence, jumped in the truck, hot-wired it, headed out down the highway, and was caught about 5 minutes later. Now, listen, 32-year-old dumbass Joby Poole was stopped 5 minutes after he took off from said stealing the place where he sold said semi-truck full of these 200,000 Cadbury cream eggs. I got to ask this dude. I so many questions, actually. How stupid do you have to be to steal 40,000 British pounds, which I think it works out. It used to be double the money here. I'm not quite sure it is anymore. So let's say $60,000 worth of Cadbury cream eggs. There's no way you're eating them all yourself, tubby. So you probably think you're going to sell them for a motherload. But guess what? I'm not sure there's a hot market for Cadbury's cream eggs. As good as these mofos are, I'm pretty sure you ain't getting even $40,000 from what they were worth on their way to the stores. maybe next time that guy should plan out a better escape route for one, and maybe a better yield for your return in case you get caught. Because, man, oh man, I just don't see it worth going to prison over. I love these things better than the best, y'all. They are one of my favorite things in the world, especially from England. If you haven't had one of those mofos from England, you got to get your hands on one. English chocolate is the best. Hands down, it blows chocolate away. Any chocolate from North America. They use different milk over there. Their cows are special. They are. And the milk chocolate in England is to die for. Those of you know, and those of you don't, you better go find out, because that's how good it is. And especially the Cadbury cream eggs. And I hate the ones that are all hard on the inside. It's just like, that's false advertising, man, because look at the picture. It's supposed to be ooey gooey goodness, and that's the only way to have it. Don't be giving me this hard crystally shit inside. I want the ooey gooey goodness. Anyways, this loser, stupid of the week, wanted and loved the Cadbury cream egg so much and thought he was going to win the lottery with them. Buddy, you blew it, and get a better plan next time. All right, what do we got left? We're at 45 minutes. I got enough time to play a few videos for you. What should we go to first? I got to set this up. Share screen. Oh, man, could you imagine? Okay, hold on. I'm going to tee this up. I got to go back to share screen. Let's do this first. Can you imagine going to a Drake concert? And Drake's, I don't know if the fans of Drake's got a plethora of fans. He does. But his latest stage whilst he's on tour is a full-sized basketball court. So it looks. Anyways, it's at least more than half, because he pulled a fan up on stage and said, if you drain this from half court, I'll give you 25 grand. Well, watch this. In front of all those people, gets the ball. He's got to sink this. Nails it. Can you imagine nailing that shot in front of all those fans, and then pocketing 25,000 big ones because he nailed it? That's got to be a pretty wild experience. I'm not going to lie, man. Good on that dude for sure. Holy Christ. That was super awesome. All right. On to the next one. This is pretty wild. This is a buddy of mine, Stu Stone, director of amazing movies. What was it? Faking a Murder, and also the Christmas one. It escapes me. Anyways, he filmed this whilst on the road. Folks, check this out, because I'm not even sure what the hell we're looking at here. Watch this.
I lost it. Where is it? There it is.
Why is it black? There it is. What the hell is that? Look how fast it.
Where is it? There it is.
Woo! Check that out. Man, if you don't believe in UFOs or aliens out there, there's something wrong with you, because we are a mere speck of dust in this massive universe. And I don't know what the hell that is, but it ain't from planet Earth. I can tell you that right now. That's pretty wild. What else do we got? Let's get to another one here. This is Oh, you know what? Oh, this is the folks. I'm telling you. Okay, so if you're a little squeamish and you don't like the crazy, dangerous stuff, I'll preface this story by a buddy. I mentioned this at the beginning of the show. He goes bungee jumping whilst on tour over in Asia, or not on tour, but on vacation over in Asia somewhere. Folks, you got to check this out. Watch. Sorry, I almost canceled the whole website or show. Watch this.
Idaho!
I gotta go back. Wait. Okay, watch.
Woo!
Oh, every bungee jumper's worst nightmare.
Idaho!
Absolutely terrifying. Probably gonna get red flag for this.
Woo!
This Hong Kong traveler goes bungee jumping and plummet to earth into the water. Thank God it was water. He lived, believe it or not. Sustained some serious injuries for sure. But the crazy one. I better pause that before they really come after me. Go fuck yourself. I got to give them credit, though. They did play the most amazing thing last night on with that Adam Sandler CNN thing. So shout out to CNN. Please don't red flag me. A couple more videos before I get out of here. We're doing great on time here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is awesome. This cat deserves speaking of Academy Awards and awards earlier, check out this cat. Absolutely put on the display of a lifetime. I think I just lost it. Oh, it's right there. Watch this. What a player. Watch this. Boom, one shot. That's pretty cool footage getting that, because you can't make your cat do that. And if you can, well, I want your number, because that's pretty impressive. And I got friends who would love to have their cats trained like that. Let's watch this one more time. Old Ginger Cat gives him the good old 1-2. Not even the 1-2, just the 1. And Buddy goes down. He's down. He's down. That video made me laugh for sure. What else have we got here? Let's play. Come on. Folks, this is crazy right here. Imagine driving down the road. You're minding your own business. You're just humming along. And then this happens. Oh, my goodness. Watch this. Whammo! Look at that. That's gnarly right there. Man, I can imagine. And then the kicker is that Tarek comes back and smokes him again. Man, oh man. Crazy, crazy stuff right there. You never know what's going to happen on the road out there, folks. Dangerous, dangerous place. Watch this, man. Front tire comes off that white truck. Boom! Absolutely horrifying. And then watch, the wheel comes back. Whammo! God damn, it's a weird world out there, isn't it, folks? All right, I think I got one, maybe two more. Let's see. No, maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Oh, folks, this is one of the best pranks I've ever seen. And goddamn, I feel so sorry for this guy. We've all been there, I think, at this scared level at least once in our life. And I'll tell you right now, this guy is never, ever going to forget this prank as long as he lives. Watch this.
Uh-oh.
That poor dude. I would absolutely die.
Run.
Let's watch it one more time. It's that good. Watch, buddy. He takes off back into the bush where he's sitting there, and he's long gone. I don't know if this is set up or what, but I got to tell you, I don't think it is, because you can see the terror in this guy. I know the sounds are fun, but that dude jumps through barbed wire. Like, I don't know. That poor bugger is probably the scaredest he's been in his entire lifetime. Well, we did it, folks. We got through the show. Can't believe the ratings tonight. You guys have been amazing. Wade says it was like Gregory asking for a girl's phone number. I know, folks. If you missed it, I'm sorry. Go back and watch the show. It'll replay on YouTube, Facebook, and please go subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and it'll help me out for sure. This has been fun tonight, for sure. The moment your soul leaves your soul. Yeah, exactly, Wade, right? Like, that would be absolutely terrifying. It's like you guys, when you send me the snake videos, I get through about 2 seconds before I realize what you numpties are up to, and I still have seen some nasty, nasty stuff, and I can only imagine the pain and terror that poor bugger went through when he got. Let's play it one more time for good time's sakes, because it is the sheer terror on this poor bugger is just too much. Watch this. I love this sound effect though. Look, he tried to jump through the barbed wire fence and he got smoked by it.
Run.
I love that video so much. Oh, man. All right, that's it. That's all. What a great time tonight. My face hurts from laughing so much. I think this is one of the funnest shows I've ever done. Oh, and I got to give a shout out to Sarge. And, this is another thing that Sarah put me on the spot. The girl I was talking about earlier, in case you missed it, she'd asked what my favorite show was or my favorite guest that I've ever had on the show. And old Bonzarelli, being as smooth as ice that I was up until the moment he came to ask for her phone number or Facebook, that is, I said, you know what? I've interviewed some amazing guests. I've had a couple of the Glory Sons on. I've interviewed the best curler in Canada. I've had this guest, the drummers of Our Lady Peace, and so on and so forth. But I said, you know what? You know what my favorite was? It was me mom, Sarge. The old throwing in the mum is my favorite guest thing. Then I proceeded to tell her the whole bit, and Jess was reeling her in. I had her. I'm telling you. And then I blew it. I totally blew it. And I'm a loser. And I'm going to eat that one for a while. It's going to hurt. And I hope to God, Sarah, you see this show and you reach out, even if it's just as friends, and go, Bud, you're funny. And that was pretty good. But yes, I have a boyfriend, or no, you're gross and I just don't want to date you. But thanks for making me laugh. Just reach out. I'll take it either way. All right, that's it. That's all. Listen, before we get out of here, I got to thank, before I get to the sponsors and thank everybody, we got some great guests coming up. As I said, Paul Langlois from the Tragical Hips coming on Wednesday. We got my buddy from Nicaragua. This guy's going to blow your mind. He was in Stephen Harper, our former prime minister's book, and there's a good reason behind it. I can't wait to talk to Nick Kazaps. I believe that's how you say his last name. Also, the band Feral Minx will join us. A great band out of Kitchener, new up-and-coming band. And we got some buddy from Yukon Gold, my buddy Guillaume Brodeur as well. So, listen, we got a lot of stuff happening here. And what does Wade say now? Why he doesn't inflate the three? Well, you listen, you are something else, man. I am not into inflatable women. I've never played that game and I never will. Okay. Listen, on that note, I'd like to thank my sponsors who are not inflatable and do not sleep with inflatable women, but they are awesome. And it's they love golf just like I do. It's Scramble Golf. It is. It's Scramble with a K. Go to www.scrambleclothing.com. And folks, get yourself, they got men's wear, women's wear, kids wear. And if you're into the beach stuff, if you're into the surf stuff, if you're into golf stuff, guess what? They got it all. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies. You can be part of the squad life, just like my boy here, Robbie from California. It is one of my favorite places in the world. Palm Desert it is. Make sure you check them out. It's Scramble Clothing, www.scrambleclothing.com. Easy for me to say. All right, that's it. That's all. 57 minutes, 49 seconds. We are on pace here on my hour things. I'm really proud of myself. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you Wednesday. Adios. Bye.
What was that?
That was very strange.
It was very weird.
Peculiar.
It was kind of amusing.
Yes, it was rather funny.
It was incredibly funny.
I loved it.
Hilarious. Wonderful.